Hello, and how you're doing today? And I have just seen probably one of the best horror mystery movies of all time. And I say I'm not exaggerating, it is. And but that doesn't mean I'm going to rate this movie highly, but it's an incredible movie. Before you watch my video, I will give away spoilers. So please watch this movie before you watch this video. It is called Spirit of Fear. Not many people might have heard this movie. I have not seen it, by the way. I mean, I had to watch it. When I read about it, I thought it's my cup of tea. My sort of horror mystery where, it's the usual type. It's one of those ones where it's about a guy and he wakes up in this room, in this house or whatever. And there's a note when he goes in the and he goes in the bathroom to wash off blood off his arm that isn't, he finds that isn't his blood and whatnot. And he goes in there. There's sticky notes pasted around the house. One in the bathroom saying don't stay in for too long. One leading to the basement door saying don't go downstairs. One leading to the front door saying don't go outside. And he finds all these notes and he seems to, you know, find out what's going on. He looks at other parts of the house and whatnot. He goes in this like kid's room and he sees like a door that every time you press it, it talks. And he goes into the kitchen and he walks and see what's going on. He finds like a torch and whatnot. He's just going to this basement. There's a lot of detail in this movie, and I'm gonna obviously say some things that are out of order in it. It's an hour and 17 minutes, but it felt like it was an hour and 40. There was a lot of detail in this movie. It's not the greatest movie ever, and there's not much talking, which I understand because in this sort of movie, it's the guy by himself and he tries to figure out what's going on, and he starts to see like this demon when he goes to this bathroom. After a while, he starts going. He wants to like do what the note says, no, go to the opposite because he wants to find out what's going on. And then this demon just shows up. He runs off, and then there's another scene where he's doing like this puzzle piece before like the demon has to go in the door because it says don't let it find you or whatever like that. And there's sort of these creepy scenes. He starts going to like what is it he goes in the basement near enough, but I'll get on to that one in a minute. And he starts like he finds like a cassette tape. Those rolling film things, where you put into like whatever it's called, into a projector, and it just plays a movie. And it's a recording of like who he like, a mother, a daughter and mother basically. I think it's his. It's his. He eventually realizes it's his wife and daughter. I would assume it's his wife, and it shows him getting angry at both of them for some reason, and he thinks that he might have did something bad to them or what. That's why his blood in his arm or what. So it's like he kind of, and there's like a safe as well where he has to open it, and there's like a drawer where there's a key that he has to find a key into it, and he starts going around the entire house looking for things. He finds like a Bible and there's like a page missing. Well, he has to find it downstairs in the basement. And then when he goes down there, he sees like a naked woman crying in the bathtub, and he sees like the demon just, I think there's a demon, so just standing like morphed into like that blanket or something like that. So he has to grab the paper quickly, and then he reads it, and it's like, oh, it leads him to like what the safe code is. Because when there was a scene where he got into the mirror before he viewed this, and it gave him like a Bible verse, before he cracked the mirror. He saw a demonic look on his face in the mirror, which is a demon version of him. So he had to break them with a torch, and then it just gave him like a Bible verse. It's very deep movie actually. I don't know if many people like it in terms of less talking, less action, but this movie suits less action into it because it's more mystery mixed in with the horror. So you have to find out clues and whatnot. I knew it was gonna be my sort of movie when I first seen it. It had practically everything that a home movie should have, you know. And there's more scenes of this guy finding out about the woman and child, and then this talk, the phone starts ringing, and he hears like this. I think it's his daughter's voice, and he goes into he pays, he has a door and he presses it, and it starts like talking to him in sense of like, oh he's in the basement. He's like this, so it's very quite a unique movie, very ordinary. And he starts like I mean there was also sticky notes in like the I'm just gonna say like the no the basement. Say basement, and then there's a lot of sticky notes. Then you see that there's like there was a part where the phone he covered in blood because of him. He finds like a box. Somebody has to unscrew it, you know, and then he finds a screw, you know, the drill tip in the bathtub where there's running water. He didn't go in it for a while. Yeah, there's so much detail. It's hard to remember everything. I've just seen the movie just now. It's hard to remember literally everything in this movie because there's so much detail. It's quite complicated, and I don't want to go through all of it because it's going to be a lot for me to cover. And you know, there's also a scene where he you know, looked in that, you know, he's looked into mirror and he saw like his wife and daughter there. It's gonna be obvious that it's gonna be his wife. I think anyone will probably guess that anyway. I kind of had a feeling it was anyway. So he kind of looked at his wife and daughter in the mirror and it's like, oh, what's going on here? What's happening? And I don't know. He probably thinks that, you know, I don't know, but they're probably dead or something. He doesn't know what's going on, and you know, he has to keep. He's looking all puzzled. And there was like half a sticky note attached to a drawer with a key on it saying, you know, find the key to, you know the truth basically. You have to find the other half of the sticky note somewhere. It was in, where was it now? I kind of forgot which part it was now. You know, and there was also a box file where he opened it and he finds like a card, you know, with a song in it, and he finds like, you know, like a bracelet, like a kid's bracelet in it. And I think he starts remembering more of it now as his emotions poured through. There's a lot of effort was put in this movie for someone that's got less talking. He didn't even have to act well, and it's kind of a really good movie to be quite honest with you. And he starts like still venturing around the house. Well, to be honest, if I was in that position, I'd be scared. I would not know. I would probably do what I probably just listen to notes and not actually do it. But sometimes you actually got to do the opposite of what you've been told in order to find the truth, and he had to. Um, you know, he starts like, you know, looking at like the safe part and thinking he finally finds the code to the safe and whatnot. It's hard to get into. And then, as he finds a key, you know he opens a drawer. You know, after find out, you know, after realizing what the code was, he went into there, opened it, and it's obviously said trying to get know the truth, and it says this is his house. It doesn't belong here. God has not given you the spirit of fear. Whatever that meant, I don't know. But when it said that this is his house, I would never have guessed that was his house. So it starts like they always play that music sometimes towards the end where it reveals something, like it's getting close to the truth. And it was getting to it. I felt like it was getting close because that it's his house. Interesting. So what exactly is going on? Is he a demon? Is he a ghost? Did he do something to his like wife and daughter that that they will come to at the end? That what's going on here? So he starts, it starts to tell him that. And as he goes downstairs, he talks to this demon. It's like, no, it doesn't belong, you don't belong in it. Demon starts like, it's under a sheet, so you won't be able to notice it. And I won't see the demon at all, though. It's just like covering his sheet and whatnot. So he says, it doesn't belong here. And then the demon grabs his hand, he says something in his arm, it says, do it to forget or something like that. I'm not quite sure. Wasn't paying attention to that part. I was on my phone the one time. They showed another scene where it went too fast, so I just couldn't read where it was. And then as he started shouting, he was like, it doesn't belong here. Then he woke up. Now, bear in mind, this is probably one of the most ordinary and unique endings I've seen to any horror mystery movie. I don't think there's any movie that does something like this. Maybe in this similar fashion, but not in this ending necessarily. And he wakes up and you think, oh, what happened? Was he dreaming? What was going on? And now I'm thinking, hold on a second, this is not how I thought the ending was going to be. He wakes up and he finds that there was a priest right in front of him with a cross. And I was thinking to myself, what? That ending left me mind blown because I've never noticed an ending like that. That ending, you would think, oh, that wouldn't suit it. I would never have guessed there was an exorcism taking place. The entire time there was an exorcism happening. Usually in nearly every horror movie, you would see an exorcism happen straight away like that because someone's possessed. This guy was possessed the entire time. So even the demon was after him, he was, well, in fact, being possessed by a demon. That's why the demon got hold of him. That's why all those notes were saying, do not do this, do not do that. It makes perfect sense now, unless I'm getting this theory completely wrong and there's more that people have noticed. But I'm telling you what, That is probably one of the best endings I've seen to a horror movie ever. Probably the best. That just notches the rating up by one at least. I've never seen an ending like that. That left me mind blown. It's almost like, so he did all that, and yet he was actually going through an exorcism. And now I'm putting the pieces together. I'm thinking that explains it. The demon had a hold on him the entire time, the whole way through. That's why he couldn't get out. That's why he was told not to go. And even if he tried to, that's why he had to find out what was going on. And maybe the scene of like his wife and daughter in the mirror look all dressed up and looking like, concerned and stuff. Maybe that was them in that part of the house when he was getting, exercised. And when he woke up, he saw like his wife and daughter. He saw his wife there with like a bruised lip. So maybe I thought he killed her or something. I thought he did something bad to her like that. I thought he had murdered her or something. It turns out he only gave like a bruised lip or something. So I was like, wow. I would never have guessed that to be the ending. Honestly, you don't make me think differently. That for me, I was like, what? You made me think WTF kind of thing, as if to say, what the hell? Like that that for me definitely speeches because now I'm starting to realize, yeah, that's probably why. That's probably why. Like maybe something was also warning him to not do that. So maybe there was some notes that were saying, don't do this because the demon will catch you, and some notes are saying, do that and so it can like take over you. So maybe some notes were actually guiding him towards that. I don't know, but that was an interesting ending, a very unique and fresh ending to any horror mystery movie. I know, and he sees his daughter. So I thought, oh, maybe this can't be. Maybe it's one of those horror movies where you think, oh, the ending's all good now, and yet they all end up to be like demons or they're dead or he's still there. Maybe I thought it's gonna loop up towards her, but even he was surprised by it too. And the wife was looking so like relieved as anyone would. And then he went to like carry his daughter outside. It just ends with the wife looking to distance. And yeah, what a unique movie. I have to give this an 8 out of 10. I'm sorry, if they didn't show that ending, I would have just given it a 7. But to me, the ending part there and the storyline and how it was going, I didn't even need much talking. They made a horror mystery movie like that without needing to have much dialogue. Incredible. You got to give it a hats off to them. They didn't need much of a script. They only needed a script to like, where he had to walk to. So that is brilliant. Whoever made, I think something called someone Davidson. I forgot the person's first name, but I'll put in I'll hashtag in the description below. Anyway, 8 out of 10 movie review. Let me know what you think of this movie. I think it's incredible. I think it's unique in some way. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment below, share with everyone you know, subscribe and hit the bell notification below as I see you in my next video.